Alright, so Kainoa, this is your vault from the, was it Franklin Cleveland meet that we had, like, randomly a day early, disgustingly early in the meet, and it was really nasty weather. So there's several things I noticed watching you vault. Number one, I'm really liking your stride length here. I mean, I wish there were markers on the track, and I can't see that, can't see the tape at all to see how far that is, but I mean, you're getting some good stride length. Coming along. You brought your 3-step, so your pole drop looks really nice here. Coming down. Your hand's a little far behind you, but you know you're moving with it. It's not like it's stuck behind your back, and you're not leaning back at all, so that's okay. But then you're like way back, like 40 feet out. Your hands are up, and you really don't need to have your arms that high, that long. The only reason you even have your arms up early at all, even back like at this point, is just to make sure you're planting and you're planting straight. As you progress, I'm actually going to have you ring your arms up later and later. You can probably look back at some of the pro vaulters, and you see their arms aren't even up until they're like just before their like in between their jump step and the step before. Like that's when the pro vaulters, that's when their arm pops up. But for you, just to make sure we're still planning straight, I'd probably have it, you know, bring your arms up to that 2 position, that by your ear position, somewhere in between your jump step, or sorry, bring it up to the 2 position, before, a little ways before your jump step. So probably that 2 step when your right foot hits, before you jump. But otherwise, your approach looks really good. I know you mentioned you felt kind of slick on the runway because it was kind of wet, and their track isn't the best, and all this like this cement over here, which is like super dangerous, and I wish they didn't have that, or at least cover it in some way, is annoying, but we're working around that. Your takeoff looks really good. You're really driving your knee up there, which is nice. I like that. Coming up. You start your swing. I know that pole's really long and it's really heavy. Once we get you bending more, and you get the pole to kind of get a nice bend, get a nice arc, and as you hold higher up on the pole, what's going to happen is that time in between when you leave the ground and when you actually tuck in and try to go upside down, you get your swing, is going to delay. So the higher you're going, the higher you're holding on the pole, the longer you have to wait and then swing. So that's just something to keep in mind as we move up. But for now, that looks good. One thing I would like, right here, your trail leg is nice and long. That looks nice. But right here, you see your trail leg is actually, it's really far bent. And I like to see you keep that trail leg extended a bit longer. The other thing is you've developed, that's not what I wanted. You developed a bad habit in doing bubkas of pulling yourself up and using your arm strength instead of using the leg swing and your abdominal strength to get you upside down. Remember, it's a swing, it's not a pull. The pull doesn't happen until you're upside down, and I'll show you later when that kicks in. But when you're here, try not to do so much pulling, because I think that's a lot of why you're twisting around to the side. See how you're all the way, you're pointed almost like level with the ground off to the right, instead of turning all the way around, and being belly down, which is where you want to be. So there's you got a lot of really good strength. You know, if the weather was better, and if we had any time to get any practice jumps in, I could have seen that going, 8.5, 9 feet at least. But you know, it was a nasty day, so I don't expect a whole lot. All right, well, see you at practice, and we know what we've got to work on.